So after 10 years at the club, during which he gave them 5 consecutive seasons in the Premier League, achieved European football for the first time in their history, with only 8 games left, Burnley have today released Sean Dyche, despite him achieving all of this on just a shoestring budget. Imagine what he could achieve with some of the riches of the bigger teams in the Premier League. Let's find out. Hello, I'm Josh and I'm the face at FMBase that's beginning to bring experiments to this place. But before we move on, I just want to remind you it is indeed free to subscribe to the channel, so please show some love, turn that red button grey, or hit the link up above at the top of the screen now. So as I said at the beginning, despite a whole host of achievements, with just 8 games left, Sean Dyche has been let go by Burnley. Now a lot of the comments flying around at the moment have highlighted just how he achieved all of these wonderful things with spending next to no money at all. So I thought today we'll put him in charge of one of the Premier League's richest clubs and see how he does. Of course I'm talking about Manchester City, who up until the Newcastle takeover were the Premier League's richest club. But not only are they now just the second richest club, but they also have some of the best facilities and club structure in the entire Premier League. So all the facilities and all the means are there to allow Sean Dyche to perform to the very best of his abilities. However, that does leave us with an unemployed Pep Guardiola. Now, if you saw the recent podcast that I did with Dr. Benji and RDF Tactics, we discussed Pep Guardiola and I voiced my views that I think he's a manager that has achieved wonderful things at teams already built, ready to achieve wonderful things, which wasn't a view shared by Dr. Benji or RDF. So we're going to put Pep Guardiola in charge of Burnley and see if he can match the achievements of Sean Dyche. Or was I right after all, and perhaps he's just a bit of a managerial flat track bully who can only do it at the ready-made teams. So we're here at the start of the season and let's take a look what both managers have got to start off with. So the Community Shield has already been played, and as you can see, Sean Dyche has won his first bit of silverware for Manchester City. However, the tactics he has used has been his trusty 4-4-2, which he's employed with Cole Palmer up front, partnering Gabriel Jesus. Very poor performance by Jack Grealish, but as you can see, they did win comprehensively 3-0. And again, he's starting his Man City managerial career with a trophy. In regards to transfers, there's been lots of loans out from Man City. So his first signing is a left back from Ajax, whose name I can't really pronounce, Nicolas Tagliafico. It just rolls off the tongue. But as you can see, he's quite a solid left back here with some really good attributes. And he's got 19 aggression, which I'm sure is very much a Sean Dyche attribute that he would be looking for. And as we've already shown, his tactics are going to be a 4-4-2. Let's see if that develops throughout the season or if it actually works for him. And here, if you take a look, drink it in, this will probably be the first and only time you ever see Pep Guardiola managing a team that isn't one of the richest or best in the league already. So if you take a look at the transfer screen here, there's nobody going out that wasn't already going out, but Pep has made 2 transfers already. The first one here for 12.25 million, Orkun Kokuku, again, names I can't say, thanks a lot guys. But he's a central attacking midfielder, looks fairly solid I suppose. But we'll see if Pep's able to do his magic and turn him into some sort of next Kevin De Bruyne over the next season or 2. Ironically, his next signing was a former Man City player, but I don't believe he was here while Pep was. Nigel de Jong. Still some good technicals I suppose, but his mental attributes are very strong. His physicals leave a little bit to be desired. With 8 acceleration and 8 pace, I don't think he's going to be pressing very high and very consistently. But if we take a look at the tactics screen, Pep is going to be enforcing his 4-3-3, his version of a 4-3-3 on the team, with Orkun Kokui, the new signing in defensive midfield, already slotted straight in there. But after years of Sean Dyche's 4-4-2, how are the players going to respond to that? So this is going to be a 3-season simulation, and at the moment you can see Man City predicted to finish top, Burnley predicted to finish 16th. Now, are the managers going to make a difference in this instance? Is Sean Dyche going to thrive with the riches of Man City? And will Pep Guardiola work his magic, do his thing as the supposed world's greatest coach, and build Burnley up from 16th into some magical position higher up in the league? There's only one way to find out, so enough of the teasing, time for some pleasing. So we're back and we've now simulated the 3 seasons of the Premier League with Sean Dyche at Man City and Pep Guardiola at Burnley. Now the question is, was Sean Dyche actually able to perform better having the riches of one of the biggest teams in the Premier League? And was Pep Guardiola really the master coach that everyone believes he is and able to achieve far beyond their means? Let's take a look. So if we start off by taking a look at Pep Guardiola, you can see that he is no longer the manager of Burnley. He joined Manchester United in the last season, so he did 2 full seasons of Burnley. And of note, nothing exciting happened. He won no cups, he won no personal managerial awards. He was simply there. But perhaps this isn't telling the whole picture. So let's take a look at Burnley and see how they performed in the Premier League. So if we take a look at Burnley's Premier League performances, this is where Pep took over. So they'd finished 10th the season before, and in his first season in charge, he finished 17th. Following season, his second and last season, he finished 15th, but he wasn't able to match the highs of Sean Dyche. If we take a look at their cup competition, see if they've won any trophies. FA Cup? Nope. Now Pep Guardiola loves the League Cup. Can we find that? No. In fact, if we take a look, Burnley were knocked out of the League Cup in the 3rd round in his first season in charge. And in his second season in charge, he was actually knocked out in the 2nd round by Wolves on penalties. If we take a look at the FA Cup, he was knocked out in the 3rd round, again a 1-0 defeat, this time to Leeds. But in his 2nd season in the FA Cup, he made it all the way to the 4th round, where he was knocked out by... League One Bolton. So if we take a look at the transfers, Pep did go on a bit of a splurge in January, and he signed Luka Milivojevic, whose name I cannot say correctly, from Crystal Palace. This guy who I've never heard of, Kiko Bondozo, Choupo-Moting, that guy ends up everywhere, and Yannick Vestergaard. So what will surprise you is Pep actually spent the most on a fullback. Typical Pep. In Pep's 2nd season in charge, yet again he went for another bit of a transfer splurge, and as Yannick Vestergaard was technically bought in the previous season, his biggest purchase then was Jethro Willems for 5.25 million, and Jethro is another fullback. Pep. So lastly, if we just take a look, this is the last game of the season that Pep managed Burnley for before he left. This was the formation that he put out, a typical Pep 4-3-3, where they massively outperformed their XG of 1.2, winning 3-1 against Sheffield United, with Weghorst scoring 2 goals. And just to finish, as you probably already noticed, Pep Guardiola did then move to Manchester United, where in his first season, he managed to finish 8th. So despite being renowned as one of the greatest coaches and tactical masters in the game, Pep Guardiola was unable to outperform Sean Dyche and was not able to replicate the success of Klopp at Mans or Dortmund or Alex Ferguson at Manchester United and take over a lower end team and produce them into something beautiful. Granted, he only had 2 seasons, but he wasn't able to do it like Dyche. So now let's take a look at the man of the hour and see how he performed at Manchester City. So if we take a look at his career milestones, first of all, you will notice he is still at Manchester City, in fact winning Manager of the Year. Let's take a look at some of these awards, because there may be more than one. There was indeed. Sean Dyche actually entered the English Hall of Fame in the 2024 season. Manager of the Year, Manager of the Month, Manager of the Month, Manager of the Year, Manager of the Year. He was Manager of the Year for 3 seasons on the bounce, and multiple Manager of the Month awards. I'm not going to count all of those. And there's far too many competition achievements here. So let's take a look at how they performed, first of all, in the Premier League. So if we take a look here, Sean Dyche took over in this season that we're showing at the moment. So the previous season, Pep had finished 2nd, but Sean Dyche has won every single season. So if we take a look at the other cup competitions, you'll notice that he was the FA Cup runner-up in 2022. He won the Carabao Cup in 2024 and 2022. He won the Charity Shield twice. So as you'll notice, there's no European Cups here, but let's take a look to see how they performed and whether he was able to match Pep's quarter-final, semi-final sort of run, or whether his lack of experience in European Cups shone through. So in his first season at the Champions League, he was knocked out at the quarter-final stage quite respectably by Barcelona in penalties. In the second season, yet again knocked out in the quarter-finals, again on penalties, this time to Bayern Munich. And this time he was knocked out unfortunately in the first knockout round by Juventus, but again in penalties. So at least the guy's consistent, but I would say he's certainly matched Pep Guardiola's performance in the Champions League. So if we take a look at the transfers, in true Pep Guardiola fashion, he spent 30 million rising to 36 on a full-back from Ajax, but then he went and splurged 63 million on Paulo Dybala in typical last day transfer deadline spirit. In the second season, he spent 113 million, this time picking up Serge Gnabry, it's a very good signing. This chap from Juventus, whose name I really don't want to attempt to say, and this name I can say, Malcolm. And in this final season, so far he's only picked up a Japanese midfielder, whose name I really don't want to attempt to butcher. And if we look at the tactics, Mr. Dyche is still rocking that 4-4-2. With Dybala and Serge Gnabry up front, which is quite an interesting mix. It's something that you may enjoy. If I just zoom over to this part of the screen, you'll be able to see over here Phil Foden chipping in with 32 goals this season, and at just 24, what a player. So there we have it, Dyche with dollars is indeed able to perform just as well as a supposed best manager in the league. However, the best manager in the league isn't able to perform as well as Sean Dyche. Let me know what you think and drop your comments in the comment section down below. I'm happy to respond to them all. So I hope you enjoyed today's experiment, and if so, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. It would really help us all out here at FMBase. And again, drop anything you like in the comment section. I will endeavour to answer to each and every single one of you. And personally, you can find me on Twitter or on Twitch. But remember, this is the place, it's FMBase. I'll see you next time.